Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's time for this past week's The Gaga on Drinks and Drag. And on today's show, we're diving into some of the week's most talked about stories. Post-Turkey Day, that is. Including what had happened over at Bravo with part 1 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion featuring the one and only Nicki Minaj, who had the barbs in an uproar when she popped on the scene. In social media, well, it's never been the same. Ever since that reading session where Nicki called out Candice, certainly one of the biggest moments in reality TV. But did Andy score a win with this one, or should the rating speak for itself? Well, the panel will share their thoughts. Plus, what do you do when the original Queen of Pop, Madonna, stirs up controversy only to bring up another? Well, that's what had happened to the 63-year-old music icon when her fans called her out on social media for not paying her employees. All of this and more on an all-new live episode of Drinks and Drag.
This is my Beverly Hills Housewives hair today, child. I've left Potomac and now I'm in Beverly Hills, baby.
With the resident Papi Chulo, Remy. Come get your face beat by the one and only drag beauty queen, Lindsay Aguilera. And the one and only troublemaker himself, Kris Avalon. So grab a drink and come on in because the lounge is open 24/7.
Ciao. Look, how y'all doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of Drinks and Drag. This is episode 3, bitch. Look, sorry, technical difficulties, but we are here. We are live. We are here. We are queer. We ain't going no goddamn where. And I have to say, those of you who are tuning in right now that have the patience of Job, I thank y'all for tuning in and coming over to the channel and about to watch us give the gift of gab, because, child, we got some shit to talk about tonight. And I just want to say I love y'all, and let me shut up so that way I can just bring everybody in, because I don't want to hold them back any longer. Let's bring in my sister from another mister, drag connoisseur. She is beat for the gods. Let's bring her in, Miss Do You Want to Know Lindsay Aguilera. Hey, sis.
Hi, everyone. Hi, welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 3, y'all. How we doing?
Looking fabulous as ever. And how you doing? And then, of course, let's bring in our resident Papi Chulo. You know, I just love saying that.
Hey,
it gets me every time.
Can I tell you? I feel like it's an official thing. This should be now your hashtag, and we should get you a shirt that says it.
I gotta change my Instagram so it says it in my bio right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Kylo Ram. What is that? Kylo Ram underscore or Kylo underscore Ram? You know, I'll be forgetting my Instagram.
You know, sometimes I forget myself and I have to double check. I believe the underscore is last. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
EJ,
that seems accurate.
So how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Because, you know, we had off a little bit last week.
We had a blast. I mean, I visited some families and we had a great dinner. And then at the end of the night, Remy and I and our good friend Edwin met up and we went to go see House of Gucci.
Oh, how was that?
Good. Really good.
With God giving her best impression of Hilaria Baldwin?
No, don't do that. The film itself was good. And she did a phenomenal job. Like to the point where I forgot it was a film. I was invested. And it's rare that I get that invested where I forget the actress or the actor that's playing the character. And I'm like, I ended up really despising her. I'm like, oh, fuck this bitch. And then when I left, I'm like, fuck Lady Gaga for playing her. She was just genuinely good. I was enjoying every minute of it. Remy, what was your opinion?
I agree. Same thing. I really liked it. I just thought it was a little long. Like it kind of felt long at one point. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Well, I mean, I heard she was good in it, but overall, I heard the movie wasn't that great, and that was coming from the one and only Tom Ford, who, you know, works up in Gucci. And I found it funny too that Salma Hayek's husband owns Gucci, and she was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Playing, what's she playing? A sidekick, so that was cute or whatever. Mm-hmm. But Yeah, so and then for me, as for me with my Thanksgiving, I just cooked and ate, and that was it. I didn't leave my house. This was the first time I actually got to have Thanksgiving in my own place, so I was happy because I've been bouncing around like a damn nomad for 2 years. So,
Bitch, you cooked a lot. I saw your
oh
Instagram
yeah, I
Thanksgiving
did.
pic. I was like, wow, feast for days. How many people did you have over? Because that looked like a lot.
It was four.
So
My,
people were
my
able to take 2 dishes home.
yeah, my parents did not come because they were like, "You have no parking in Harlem," so they were like, "No."
Oh,
I was like, "Okay." Go to my
I
aunt's
hope there,
house in
I hope there
Queensbridge.
was,
Don't get
I hope there was a
shot.
lot of liquor.
Oh, I wish I would have had some alcohol, but no. I played, sober Sally. Speaking of which, I'm playing sober Sally again tonight because I'm drinking water. I didn't have time to get a beverage. So what y'all drinking?
The typical Lindsay, which is Casamigos, club soda, and lemon juice. I started earlier. I went live earlier, to promote the show
Hmm.
because we got to promote it. And I made it too strong. And it reminded us of a specific bartender at times. She would make it really strong, thinking, this is what you guys want, so you guys can get fucked up. And we're like, no, we don't want that for the first cup. She was a little strong. So I feel a little like cloud seven. Like when you smoke is cloud nine, then I'm in cloud seven.
So you get
I'm in cloud seven right now. I'm feeling good.
cocktails. And Remy, what are you drinking?
My usual vodka Red Bull.
The funny thing, I was going to do a vodka Red Bull tonight too because I have vodka in my refrigerator, well, in the freezer because you don't refrigerate. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
refrigerator vodka.
Mm-mm.
And I have two big 20-ounce. People look at me crazy because I drink 20-ounce Red Bulls. I'm like, bitch, what am I going to drink? A small one? So I was gonna do that, but then I was like, I don't want to be bouncing off the walls. Like the Matrix comes out in 3 weeks. I don't want to be a part of that cast. I don't want to be doing bullet time and flying off walls and shit. We trying to do a show. But anyway, let me shut up and then let's get right into the topics.
Let's get
Which
it
of course,
on.
let's get immediately into Drag Race season 14. The queens have been revealed. I was hoping and praying, like with all of this, that before we go live at the top, it was going to come out and everything. And yes, the girls have been revealed. So season 14 is slated to come out um, in January. I was trying to look for the exact date, but I don't have it in front of me. Oh, it shows how professional I am. Just give me one second. Okay, so it comes out January 7th at 8 o'clock on VH1, followed by Untucked at 9:30. So the queens that have been revealed are as follows. We have Alyssa Hunter from Catania, Puerto Rico. We have Angeria Paris Van Michaels from Atlanta, Georgia. We have Bosco from Seattle, Washington. Diabetti from Springfield, Montana. Oh, so we got Montana queens up here.
Not
Diabetti, that is
diabetic.
a hilarious name. Um, Deja Sky from Fresno, California. We have Jasmine Kennedy from New York, New York. Um, I hope I'm saying her name right. It's Georges. It's written Jorgeous. So I'm thinking this, or is it Horgus or whatever? Whatever. We'll go with Georges. You girls come out with these weird ass names and get mad when we say it wrong. But anyway, June Jambalaya from LA. Kerry Colby from Los Angeles, California. That's a lot of LA girls. Another one who
Hmm.
I did know was coming on was Cornbread, Jete from LA.
Not a
Lady,
cornbread
yeah,
girl. Not a
yeah,
cornbread.
Cornbread been around for a long time. Lady Camden from Sacramento. Maddie Morphosis from Arkansas. We have Orion Story from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Willow Pill from Denver, Colorado. Yeah, I know Denver. I mean Willow. I said Denver. I know Willow. And yeah, that's it. So they got 14 girls.
Wow, that's so
And
odd. They only have one queen from New York.
I know, and that was odd
That's such a
that
switch up.
it really is because the pressure has always been on the New York girls to show up and show out. They also said
Hmm.
they have the franchise is hetero, but I'm like not going to know who it is because I was sitting there looking through the story on New Now Next and Out, and they didn't reveal who the girl was. So maybe like we said, oh hey, Sailor Mermaid is in the building.
Hi, Sailor Mermaid.
So
She's
yeah,
been
so the
watching since pre Drinks and Drag.
mhm. So we got our loyalists up in the room. So yeah, the queens have been revealed. What do you guys think? I know Remy knows. The one thing I've always known about you is that you are always aware of a lot of the girls when they come on Drag Race. Did any of these
Hmm.
queens pop out immediately um, when you heard them?
So this time around, no. Like the only one that I recognized the name that I've probably seen once at like one of the spots that we always go to is Jasmine Kennedy. But aside from that, I don't recognize. Like I'm aware of the name Kerry Colby. Like I've seen it through social media and everything. Like when the queen started tagging people, or there's conversation, whatever. Like I've seen
Mm,
the name before, but I couldn't put a face to it until now. But aside from that, no, I haven't heard of anyone. I'm interested though, considering I have no knowledge of any of them.
Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna ask you. I mean, usually for me, like the only queens I really do know are once they've done the show, and I continue following on who they are and who their friends are when they go on tour. We go into like the Ritz or all the other like the Monster Bar and whatnot, and then we meet the house or our town's queen, and then once I'm invested, I'm like, oh, I like them, and then some of them do participate in the show. I'm excited to see that, but nonetheless, 90% of the time when they do announce these names, I really don't know anybody. So I'm more intrigued to be like, okay, let's see what these girls are bringing. So I'm glad you asked that question. I want to see Remy's opinion on this, because usually he'll know like a good solid four queens, and whether he's seen their show before or seen them on
yeah.
YouTube, he knows what to expect. So would you think this is more intriguing for you now because you have zip knowledge on them? So you're like, okay, let's see what these girls are bringing, or you're like, I wish I knew offhand at least three queens so I know where to categorize them. Because usually, when these shows do show up, we're quick to be like, okay, this is gonna be the top three. I feel like these are gonna be the bottom just by the pictures alone or their interviews when they do the reveals and whatnot. They're like, this girl is not for me, and then they end up surprising us.
Yeah.
I can honestly say this one I'm going into blind. Like I don't know anything, so I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Being that there's only like one person from New York on here, I thought there was like there's like a shit ton of queens in New York, and there's a lot of good candidates for Drag Race. That when you think about it, it's like, oh, we can expect to see this person on it soon. So I'm surprised this time around. It's like none of them were on it at all. So I was just like, okay.
Hmm.
No man.
Jasmine Masters, I love
And what
her.
about you, Kris? What do you think about this cast?
Um, I'm I think we're all on the same page. I'm going in completely blind, and I actually like the fact that I'm going in completely blind because usually in the past, it's like, oh, I know who that girl is. Oh, I know who that girl is, and we put so much on them. There's so much expectation, especially when Britta Filter went on her season, and oh my God, and then Honey went on her season. Hence me wearing the shirt, and there's so much expectation you hope from people, the queens and then when you watch the show, it's like fuck. Like I put all that on them, and then once they get in the lines, then it's like they don't give what needs to be gave. In the words of Roland Ray. And then who's another one? Oh my God, I forgot her name. The one who used to date Barbara Dragler, Miss Cracker. Same thing with her.
Oh,
Like when I had, like I know Miss Cracker for a long time, and when she was holding court over in Hell's Kitchen, and then we were, so that, and then when she was on the show, she wasn't given need to be gave. So I like the idea that I don't know who any of these girls are, except I'm aware of Cornbread. Outside of her, I don't know who anybody is, and I like the fact that I can finally go into a season completely blind and get a chance to get to know these girls and be like, okay, I like her. It's kind of like what's given me with Dragula this season. I have no idea who's going to win this season because the way this is a really strong. What are we? A top four, right? We have a
Yeah,
strong
top four
top four,
now.
and I like the fact that Miss Thing got her little arc before she was killed off in the last episode. I won't say it in case
hmm.
people haven't seen the episode yet. I won't spoil it for them. But overall, I have to say this is the strongest season with them. So I'm hoping that we can get that same energy from the upcoming season of 14. But look, New York, I'm upset that we don't got a lot of our girls coming and performing. But I guess so many years we've had so many New York queens. I know people been bitching. But look, they're casting for season 15. Try out for that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I will say I'm gonna try to go into this one completely like spoiler free because you always go on Twitter or something and they always pop up. I'm gonna try my
Yeah,
best to avoid it to try to get the best experience out of this, considering I'm going in blind. It'll be more
Hmm.
entertaining that way.
exactly. I was trying to avoid the spoilers and stuff on social media. Um, okay, so I'm glad all the queens have been finally revealed. I think the Meet the Queens episode airs tomorrow. I forget exactly what time, but they got it. You could, since we're already on YouTube, they have the thing on YouTube. Just hit the thing wherever will remind you. And then if you want to watch it that way, or watch it, or just wait until they finish airing it and then look it up and then watch it then. But I'll probably watch it and try to get to know these queens, but I'm probably gonna end up just going in completely blind and waiting until January. But I'm excited for this new season. So okay, let's move on and talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, or as my girl Funky Dineva calls them, Patanka. So the fourth episode finally aired, and the one and only Nicki Minaj closed it out with a bang. I have to say that you know what she didn't hold back when it came to grilling Giselle, Karen, Ashley, Robin, Candice, Dillard, Dr. Wendy, and Mia. And them questions, bitch, she was good. I was hollering, and I just love the little side facial expressions and the little, all the, the typical kiki shadiness that the women give. And I just was living for it. And the fact of the matter was, what was irritating me was that Candice was lying up a storm, talking about, oh, I tell my mother, no, bitch, you don't. You let that woman sit up there and dog your husband every chance they got, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. So a lot happened. I loved what Nicki did. I'm a hold back my thoughts a little bit because I want to hear what y'all got to say, and I'm gonna give my full assessment of her, and then I'm gonna ask some other questions in regards of the future of these reunions because she definitely shook things up, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of copycats who are going to try to format the way they do their reunions after the way
Mm-hmm.
the energy she jolted into these reunions. Because I'm sorry, I feel like Andy is a little too close to home with this situation, and he's not giving me what needs to be given in these reunions anymore. It feels a little too like you let these girls just get away with so much and don't answer the questions that we as viewers want to see at home. And the fact that you had someone who is a fan of the show come in and bring it from the perspective of those of us who actually watch it, I feel like we need more of that than someone who's a little too close to production. But who wants to go first on this? What did y'all think of Nicki hosting the Real Housewives of? I'm gonna keep calling it Patanka, even though I know it's
Okay.
Lindsay could go first.
We have a lot to say. I thought Remy wanted to go first because I know Remy's gonna drop down what he needs to say, and we're gonna live. Just giving my own opinion, I'm going to say I wasn't too thrilled, honestly speaking, at first, Nicki Minaj. I'm just like, no. I hear what you're saying, Kris, when it comes to maybe Andy Cohen being a little too like he's no longer like drawing the lines. I get that in that aspect, but I'm also one of those people. We spoke about this. I'm so used to original. I love the cast. I love the format. I love the way it's delivered. I love the 3-part, 4-part, 9-part thing. I give
yep,
that. What I see though, and we have to understand, and that's with any show, whether it be the Real Housewives, whether it be RuPaul's, whether it be anything, it's you can't cross the line when at the end of the day you're these people's bosses. That's like any other job. Like someone out of term can read us for filth at work, but our own boss can't. You understand what I'm saying? And
yep,
there are times where, let me give an example. We've all worked together. Actually, all three of us have worked together. So we'll talk about not the recent jobs, but in past jobs, we've seen people do things that they shouldn't be doing or working on nerves, or we talk about their performance. And the three of us could be talking, which is if I am the supervisor and someone hears me talking to you guys about someone else's performances at your guys' level, I'm getting axed. It's not acceptable. So we have to understand Annie's Cohen's position in this is going to be hard. So someone like Nicki, who doesn't work for the company, ain't no one's bosses, she is literally a viewer like us, coming in and asking the questions that she gets to ask, she cannot get in trouble for, is what we're living for. So I'm here for that. That's all good. And I'm going to say on a scale from 1 to 100,
mm-hmm.
Nicki gave me 111. Okay, I was like, wow.
I agree.
The only
She was giving a
she
lot.
1000%. She did give, and there were questions that we've always asked, and I hope this is a change game for everyone, and not just in the Housewives franchise, but any reality TV show. Like, give it to the bloggers, give it to fans. Like, allow them to ask these
Exactly.
questions because they're questions we want to hear, and that's what's going to make the reunion worth. I feel like had they done that, and probably they couldn't, but had they done that for Beverly Hills in this last reunion, the questions that they wanted to ask Erica would have been like You know what I mean? Would have
Yeah,
been awesome.
they should film it in front of a live audience and have like them come up to the mic and ask a question. I know they want to
Yeah.
do pre. Oh, we need to pre look at the question. What are you exactly going to ask? This is
Well,
appropriate. That's
they
not
didn't
appropriate.
pre. Well, I'm glad you said that, but they didn't pre-close or pre-check for Nicki. Now, with that being said,
Wait,
the
do
Oh,
you
you don't
think
know that.
do you think that every franchise going forward or like other reality shows within the reunion should have a specific celebrity or a fan or somebody come and present these questions in the same way that Nikki did?
yes, or have someone who's consistent, maybe who's very format within the show. Like for example, like I feel like for the Bravo show, there's the Oh No Bravo, these two ladies who like
Yeah.
controls that account and they give their 2 cents. I love them. I think they're awesome. I love their promos. I love what they got to say. Maybe get someone like them to ask those type of questions so that it takes away from Andy. And I personally still feel like Andy should still be the face and hold it, but there should be a
Yeah.
little segment like they did for Nikki, maybe not necessarily at the end or in the middle of it, have that segment where Andy takes a few minutes break, watches and controls it because that's what he needs to do. Have the ladies ask these girls the questions and let it be on. I feel like
You know,
as
I think
ratchet as
I like that idea that you would say because now the wheels will start turning in my brain. I feel like we could do the 3 part reunion, and then the fourth episode they should just. I agree. Maybe they should do a fourth, and the fourth would be specifically that you have the fan questions, like the what the viewers want to know that Annie
yeah.
didn't cover, and you have those influencers or bloggers because a lot of us who are online, we are the ones who love these programs. We watch these programs. We're more invested than I feel that a lot of these people are. And I know they live for it, but I feel like maybe TV doesn't respect a lot of YouTubers or whatever because we're sort of DIY. We're not in that whole dome of Hollywood and the industry and all that other stuff. We're trying to get in there, and
Hmm.
we're doing it our own way without having to have all these things surrounding. But if you have those people who are super fans that are bloggers that put together that are like you said that watch Potomac specifically, that watch Beverly Hills specifically, like Up and Adam. You could have him up in there and do come in there and do
There
specific
we go. Yep.
and then have and then answer the questions specifically for Beverly Hills in that
Yes.
episode and have the
Yep.
send me your questions. I'll
Perfect.
look into them and deliver
Perfect.
what to be delivered.
Agreed.
So they should do it like that. Or Funky Dadiva do Atlanta because
Yes.
he's tied with Atlanta. Have him,
Yes.
and he always does his. He's notorious for doing his post videos or whatever about a lot of the reality shows that people drag him for, but they love it.
Hmm.
Otherwise, they wouldn't
No.
keep doing it. But then have them do specific for that. So I agree. They need to have one for East and who knows? Maybe we can do New York. So
Don't gas it up. We're throwing it out there. No, I totally agree. That's the mind where I'm going. And just to end it, I gave that props to Nikki. Now the only negative thing, and I did say this to Remy a few days ago, we were just pre talking a little bit about it, is the one thing I will say is even though the questions were great and try to get the answers off these ladies were and she was holding people accountable was awesome. I strongly believe her delivery was, to me, in my opinion, just disgusting. Because the three of us in this panel, although we live for it, if any one of someone that we know outside tries to talk to us in that way or try to get information, I already know the both of you alone would read a bitch. Y'all know I'm quick
yeah,
to read a bitch if they come and disrespect me. I think that's the only thing wasn't okay was that she was allowed to come in a tone, deliver it, and throw that shade. You can throw shade, you could be shady
I
because the
yeah,
bitches read for filth. But
yeah,
you're like I said, you don't work with them. You're not in that panel. You're not in that cast.
yeah.
You are a fan of the show. That I do draw the line. But
I
that's all
think
I'm going to
it's
say because I
just
know Remy has
I think it's
more.
just a separation. I think it's just she's just a deliverer of the message. It's not she's the one who's personally coming up with these questions and asking them. So you can't really take it personally from her. She's just there to say what Andy can't say or wasn't going to say. So I think you
Okay,
kind of have to like,
but she owns it. She said it. I mean, if let's say that's true, but in her statement, you're coming off and saying, "I approve of this message," and you can't say nothing. That's almost like if we're
Yeah, she
behind
was
the
giving,
scenes.
yeah, she
If
was
we're
giving
behind the scenes,
business.
yeah. But I'm saying if we're behind the scenes, if the three of us are
Yeah,
behind the scenes, and there's a topic we're going to talk about on next week's episode, and I say I don't like this topic, I don't want it to be mentioned because not that I don't want to participate because I don't know. It's because I feel strong about it. I would hope that you guys would be like, okay, let's take it off. Now, if we film and we're putting in the show anyway, I'm signing my seal of approval that I am okay with this. So regardless, even if that's the case, I still feel like she was still putting her 2 cents. But even if she's just a messenger filling in that void, your attacks were hard. This is my opinion. Your attacks were extremely hard.
So you
There
agree
could have been
with
a totally
Candace's
different
husband?
way.
So you agree with Candace's husband Chris when he, went and had his little
Yes,
moment at the end where he
yes.
felt like she was attacking his wife. I mean, I'd agree. Like, look, if I'm a producer or a LA Reid or somebody, I'm like, okay, so sing, bitch, like sing me a song
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you want
Oh
to give
yeah.
it to me.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is
I
what
was here for
happened.
that.
I
I was
used to
here for
like
that.
when you look at a Christina Aguilera or girls in those days, that's what they had to do. They didn't have the opportunity. Oh, let me drop my song on iTunes. I hope somebody hears it. It's like no, you had to literally
Mhm.
get in front of LA Reid and sing your ass off to get that record deal. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I understand she was in the spot. And look, she gave me need to be given. Like she sang, she sounded good. She gave me, she was on key like Ashanti was at the Soul Train Awards. So she gave me what needed to be given. So I don't know why she was all upset. And I know her husband was feeling all kinds of protective, which a husband should do. But I do agree that there were moments where it was like, okay, you're being Nicki and it's exciting and everything. But I did feel that Nicki was being typical with the let me be shady, which has always been this industry thing that people have said they've had a problem with her tone,
Yeah.
her attitude, a lot of that, the way she delivers when she talks to certain people. So yeah, let's go to this clip and then we're gonna get Remy's opinion, which we haven't gotten yet. So roll the clip. Or clips.
Why are we hesitating?
Just bust the
You're
tune.
an artist.
Let me sing a nigga.
Sing.
Gotta give it up to you. It was really hard. And you sang your song.
Thank you.
And you brought the room down.
I appreciate you.
That was really.
And he was standing right there. Nobody else would have known. It's not like he rented a billboard or bought a billboard on Sunset Boulevard and said, fuck Nicki Minaj because she was talking shit. Like, he was expressing his discontent to his wife and his wife's coworkers. Like, but y'all are mad. And, well, not y'all, but the people are mad. Hi, Peaches Palace.
Oh,
Hi, Peaches Palace.
You want to save that for later, darling? Are you hungry?
I'm like sitting there biting my finger. I'm trying to get rid of a snack now. But I'm like, so what? He doesn't have a right to defend his wife or feel a kind of way. It's just like, look, the man has the right to feel the way he wants to feel, and people shouldn't be upset about it. But yeah, Remy, let's hear your opinion on about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion.
So, me being the barb that I am, I'm gonna put that aside and just say I love the fact that she was on the show because I stand. Period.
Mm-hmm.
The energy I felt that she brought, I felt like she did bring something that we needed in reality TV shows because like we've come from an era where like reality TV shows we would expect to see people fighting at the reunions or like getting into more verbal altercations or something and bringing more drama, making it more interesting. But some of these reality shows lately, especially like due to like COVID, they don't have a lot of things going on the show. So we need somebody to like shake the table. And I like the fact that she came and she was asking the questions that like Andy couldn't ask because it's like we need. Well, there's nothing wrong with more drama and more tea. I don't think that Kris should have gotten as upset as he did because again, I just feel like she's just delivering a message, and if Candice has the vocal ability to do so, if she wants to be this artist like Kris, this Kris was saying, like sometimes you just got to sing on the spot, and if you can't do that, how are you going to claim to be like a singer unless you keep coining auto-tune like you like if auto-tune is your thing and like Nicki called out, she was like, I heard a little auto-tune on there, prove that you can do it without auto-tune or otherwise just be like T-Pain, even though T-Pain proved that he could do it without auto-tune after the fact. No one really knew that. But anyways, I think that overall it was good. I feel like I enjoyed it. I don't think that she was too hard necessarily. I feel like she was just getting to the point and getting to the drama, and I'm here for it.
Okay. I just want to be very clear on something though. I've noticed earlier. Well, this is crazy because by the way, I am not nowhere near Team Candice. I'm like, ugh. I said it before, and I know it sounds mean. I don't want her on the show anymore. But I'm not the boss. I'm not Nicole. I do not want Candice on the show. But I am also the type where I feel like if I feel like give praises where it needs to be done, or say something that I could love someone, I could be a fan of someone, but if they're not good, I'm like, girl, you're not good. When it comes to this part, I just felt like it was a little too much for her. And just to go back on what you guys were saying about Kris, I don't think he was. No, I don't think he wasn't upset that Nicki asked her to sing and was forcing her to sing. He was upset with the questions that came before that, which was like, how many records you sold? Oh, you think that chart was good? Oh, your song has been out for 2 months and you're still in that spot and you think it's good? Oh, and she kept giving the face. That's what he was upset about, and that's what really pissed him off. Which I would too. I just wanted to be clear because I noticed another person, another blog saying that.
My interpretation of the face that she was making, though, was I think she expected her to sell a lot less than what she was selling. So when she corrected it and actually pulled out the numbers and everything, and she was like, "Oh, okay, you sure that's the number that you're selling?" I think she expected it to be a lot less because she is someone who is like reality TV, is known from reality TV. It's not like someone who's known for just being a singer.
Yeah, well, her favorite artist is also from reality TV, the one and only Cardi B. And look how many records she sold. So the whole reality thing and people being artists within that world, that's kind of becoming this blurred situation. So we actually have 2 more clips where we got Nicki talking to Ashley and Nicki talking with Miss Dope.
Oh, before we play that, before you play that, I'm just gonna start off by saying that was harsh. Like the way she came down on Ashley and her husband, I'm like, oh girl, if you go down on your own fans when they talk about your husband, don't talk about the husbands.
She's just a messenger. She's just a messenger. Disassociate. She's just a messenger.
All right, boo. But you can't.
I mean, but
this goes back to what I'm saying though. You can't sign on something. Okay,
they look at us as we're the face. People don't understand we understand the whole. We're messenger. We got the cards. They're telling us what we should. I mean, these are the questions they want us to ask. But sometimes we can go over scripts. Sometimes, but with this show, we do our own shit. But when you're in network television, they'll but they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes because they don't care. They look at the face and they're gonna say, well, she's the one that said whatever she said, so we're gonna drag her. Even if the producers, even if they'll be like, told me that I should be a little shadier, or maybe I should deliver this or say this. They always do that. Oh, yeah, we also got
it. Let's watch this clip because we got a lot more to say. This is where I was getting. But you know,
not the booty models.
Hold on. But this is what I want to. Hopefully, Remy. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but hopefully, you can agree with me in this part. Do you see the difference between how she presented the questions to Wendy, and they were shady questions, and those were harsh, compared to how she delivered it to Candice and Ashley? Do you see how she didn't give a face, she didn't do anything, and she asked the questions? I feel like she should have drove off of that. And going back, like I said, I'm like, the husband thing, like, even if you're a deliverer or a messenger, one thing is, like me, we've spoke about this in the show many times. I don't like when people out someone else. Don't do that. We've had this conversation before. I'm like, oh, girl, that's the topic we're doing. You're being a little biased because you don't like it to be done. Messenger or not, there's certain, like, if I believe I don't want certain things about me asked, I shouldn't be asking people the question, whether I'm the messenger or not. For that, I have someone else ask the questions. But that's what I was getting at. I was like, her delivery towards Wendy worked. I was like, this good question, but how she delivered it and how she said it was so different.
Can I just say,
bitch. Yeah, go ahead.
I dislike the fact that, and there wasn't a clip or anything, but I dislike the fact that Wendy picked up the cards and read the questions when Nicki had walked away. I was like,
I did not like that.
I was like, you wouldn't have done that to Andy. You wouldn't have done that to anybody else. And she's like, yeah, I saw some of the questions. Mind your business. What you should have picked up was the poster board and took your ass home.
No, what she should have done was Google Nicki's lyrics so she could have announced it properly. Right. That's what she should have done.
She pulled up in Sri Lanka.
Right, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, that was the only line she said. What did she say on Wendy Williams?
Sri Lanka is found somewhere downtown between Gay Street and Avenue Q. I don't know, but Sri Lanka. What is this?
Yeah.
I will say though that I think that the other gay men comment was a genuine slip up. Because she called herself really quick and she corrected it really quick. I do think that was a genuine slip up. A shady slip up, but a genuine slip up nonetheless.
Agreed.
But yeah, I get what you're saying about in terms of the delivery, but I also feel like Kris was heated because the entire reunion, everyone was coming down on him because of his financial situation, because of whatever he's doing with Candiace, how Candice's mom treats Kris, and like all these comments. I think it was just like all bubbling up.
And
I agree.
The culottes.
I agree.
Who at the reunion? What was that outfit?
Okay, let me talk about that real quick.
He was preparing for a flood. That's why his ankles were exposed. He didn't want to fuck up his good knickerbockers.
That happened at my job a couple of days ago.
That was terrible. Like, no, like, and bad promotion. I mean, it's your opinion, it's your style, it's whatever. You could be judging me right now and calling me I look busted. I don't care. I like it. So if he likes it, that's on him. That's good. But if you're gonna ask me my opinion, no bueno. Like, bad representation, bad look at the reunion. Like, the promo, you could have just kept it for Instagram, or you could have done it in the after show or something. It just did not. Or maybe you know what it is too. I don't feel like it was tailored for him. You know what I'm saying? The blazer was a little too long for him, and then the pants were saggy and too tight. I know the kind of pants he rocks because I love those kind of pants. And Kris, you rock those during the summertime. Those look good on. I'm sorry, the sweats, capri, little mini culottes. I love it. That's a good look. Y'all know I love those pants, but it has to fit you. It's not a cute look when it's a tailored pants. It's just no bueno. I'm trying to make it a fashion review over here, but it was just no bueno. And then you know what you're at. I get why you're upset. And Remy, you brought up a really good point. You hit the nail. I think everything from the whole day just bubbled up. So the very end with Nicki was just like, okay, I'm dropping this. I'm done. So I agree.
I think that's why it got more dramatic than what it needed to be. Because it was a lot. It was a lot that was put on his plate. They kept coming for him. But at the same time, it's like, it's your life. This is what you signed up for. You chose to do it, to manage your wife's career however you need to, whether it's because she's a student and everything. Okay, if that works for you, it's working for you. But don't be surprised when criticism comes your way because your life is on the big screen.
And that's what I say. It's like, look, if y'all sign up to these reality shows, y'all should know that people are watching and people are going to criticize from him and his relationship. The fact he ain't working or he can't, we don't know exactly what his occupation is. We don't know exactly what Jen Shaw's occupation is either. But we're going to say that for the second episode.
I love Sailor Mermaid just said, we just missed it. But he basically was saying, did not like the gay comment, but totally agree with what Remy was saying as far as
catching
it's already up. Yep. Catching yourself. I think
he said the other gay comment wasn't cool, but like Remy said, what I saw, I mean, she did catch herself. So give credit with what she did. But yeah, overall, Potomac was a good season. We'll see what happens next season.
Well, Portia had opinions on
Oh, let's talk about that.
Speaking of Housewives, let's play Portia's clip.
In Wendy's life, in Wendy's life, it seems like so much has changed.
Thoughts on Nicki Minaj taking the seat at the reunion? What was your reaction to that? I'm so curious.
Well, first of all, I was living for every moment. I'm a big Nicki fan, and she had me in one of her songs. Hey, girl, I love you. But it really felt to me like having a housewife because she knew so much about the show. It felt like she was on the show and a fan.
Yes.
So she was able to play both sides, and I was eating it up.
100% agree with her.
I love it. I wonder if she's going to have that same reaction if and when in the future Nicki interviews her and comes for her in that same way. I love me, Portia. I'm team Portia. I'm just saying, I wonder if this goes back to what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to dish it, take it, or love it, then...
Well, she's going to have that energy for when Nicki hosts Portia's reunion for her show with Simon Now.
That energy? Child, did y'all see that show? No.
No.
We'll talk about that in the second episode. We ain't gonna talk about that because, child, can y'all just cancel it already? Portia's family, whatever you want to call it, is a hot ass mess. That should not have been given a show in a damn first place. But you know, let me shut up and not talk about her. Speaking of people who got a peach and making that peach taken away, let's talk about Sheree.
Wasn't it like an overnight thing?
What?
Her getting her peach taken away, like we just woke up and bam.
I don't think it's been taken away, but it's about to because her one ticket to the reason why she got that peach. You know, she called Tyrone and he stood her ass up, but she went to go meet him in New York.
You better call Tyrone.
Okay, you probably had that damn Erykah Badu song on repeat. But anyway, according to reports, Tyrone Gilliams is said to be upset with Bravo, so much so that he's taking legal action against the network. Now, reportedly, his legal team sent Bravo a cease and desist letter claiming the Housewives of Atlanta has been using his name and likeness without his permission. Now, to date, he hasn't been on camera, but according to the cease and desist, Real Housewives of Atlanta has discussed him on the show multiple times that he's been part of a storyline. He believes Bravo's been profiting off of him without his permission. Now, he is reportedly threatening legal action and wants the network to remove every trace of him from Real Housewives of Atlanta footage and social media reports, etc. Now, this is confusing because, well, they did say that they're not on speaking terms and that, he's out of jail and on house arrest. And he's upset that Sheree planned to shoot scenes with him at a restaurant, and shooting may have been a big issue for him since he's in home confinement. And the funny thing is, I don't think she could visit him at wherever he's residing at.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have sworn that when you sign on the dotted line to be a part of any Bravo show, because I, for one, know this firsthand because I had to sign a form to be on The Real Housewives of New York. They will shoot you, and after you shot whatever, like I'll tell my experience. When I went and I had to do my little scene where they were like, okay, so we have this wine or whatever. We want you to send it down to the women from New York when they were at the circus. I knew what was about to happen because prelude. I was like, oh, now they're giving it to me. I'm going to be on camera. So I already know if I'm going to be on camera, they're going to be like, well, you have to sign this. If you agree to be on the show, you can sign this. If you don't, then we'll have to either cut your scene or they're going to blur you out. And I was like, oh, no, you're not blurring me out. So I was like, I will sign away my life, and you can show the scene, and lo and behold, the scene aired. So, but I could have sworn that with Tyrone, if he was on Atlanta, I don't think they were just having him there and not having him sign no paper. So I don't understand what all of this is, and I get that maybe he's scared because he just got out of jail and he don't want. And we already know with the Housewives, anybody with the feds and everybody watching.
I can tell you really quick what it is. Well, first of all, he just out of prison, so the man needs money and he's not working. And he is not going to be getting paid because he is not even any sort of character. He's like a friend of a friend of a friend of. He has yet to do his roots. You know what I mean? Unlike some of these other husbands of the show, like the Mauricios and the whatnot, and Ramona's ex-husband, they've been on the show for so long. I'm sure they're getting something because they're important to the storyline. Right now, he's not. He's been spoken about. So coming off making an appearance here and there, he's like, oh, wow, I'm not getting no money. And something probably tells me he probably told Sheree, since the issue was filming at the restaurant, he didn't want that to happen. He probably told Sheree, well, are you going to give me money for this? And Sheree is like, no, bitch. I'm the peach holder here. Like, you're just invited like anybody else who comes on my show. Think about it. And he's probably like, oh, well, that's the case. I'm not getting nothing. And that's really what it's boiling down to. I see it all over. And, she does a summer, springtime. So she doesn't know what she's going to say when she gets questioned.
I agree.
But I'm betting my $100 bill that I have here somewhere that is the reason that this is all happening. So he's on okay, well, I'm not getting paid for the show and you're not giving me nothing. Then you're not taking nothing off me. And he's also a little because he is not he's not an A-lister, he's not a celebrity, he's not someone famous to say, hey, I'm going to sue you if you use my name. And when it comes to those kind of terms, she would be allowed to say his name as long as she's stating a fact of this is my experience with him. You know what I mean? If he's always yelling at her, he's always yelling at me. You can't tell someone you can't use that on the show because you've never been on it. We haven't seen you. We just go based on words. And that's my little 2 cents on that. Remy?
No, I agree with you 100%. I think that the whole goal is to get him some type of income because he's out of jail. Or it could also be that being that he's fresh out of jail, he doesn't want the exposure to be on camera, whatever his situation may be. So I don't know. I think that overall I'm not excited for Sheree's storyline because like you said, she is just, I think what Sheree does best is bring up drama and stir the pot. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like her actual backstory and whatever's going on with Tyrone, I don't think it's interesting enough.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Sailor Merman has a question. He says, will you guys watch the new Basketball Wives season? I heard Brooke and Malaysia got into a physical altercation. I watched that particular episode or clip on YouTube when it's released. First of all, I didn't even know Basketball Wives was coming back. I thought they canceled.
I had no idea either.
Neither do I, but I have a question. Who's Brooke?
Wait,
is she some girl that they brought? I think they're trying to bring girls back from past season, whatever. I don't remember who half these girls are. Malaysia is basically Shawnee. They ain't going no damn where.
Yeah.
I actually ran into Shawnee one time when I was in LA. She got some tall ass kids, including her daughter. But yeah, true. There's Shaq. Yeah, I guess I watch the clip when it comes on, but I'm surprised Basketball Wives is even getting another. Like, no shade, but who still watches that?
I know Evelyn said she wasn't gonna do it anymore, so I'm already
I heard
a little
that
less
too.
appealed to it.
Yeah, I heard that.
No Evelyn, no Tammy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tammy's
Tammy's
over on Paramount Plus with the Real World. So, she was from Basketball Wives LA. I forgot. Well, yeah, because Basketball Wives LA was doing better than the original, so then they had to try to blend it because the other girls were getting jealous. We knew that too. But okay. So wait, are we done with this? I guess we are done with this charade conversation. Just that fast. See how short that was?
And just like that.
Just like her. Exactly. I can't wait for that show to air next week. Just like that.
Neither can I.
But yeah, with the whole charade thing, I just feel like, see how fast we was done with her topic. It's gonna be how good her damn storyline gonna be this season. It's gonna be like a good 2 episodes, airing spring summer. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about Madonna and this whole 50 Cent thing. Why he always gotta jump into grown women business? I swear, I think that man's a closet case. But anyway, because you always coming after women. Like, why you always got something to say about when your mama was a full bulldagger? Like, I would think you would be more I would think you would be more open to understanding about women, and your mama was a whole lesbian. She ate cat traps. But anyway,
we don't do that here. Stop. Stop.
Anyway,
No.
So let's take a break. We'll come back and talk about Madonna and this whole Sherry Shepherd Wendy Williams debacle, and we're gonna close out with a little game. So yeah, don't go anywhere. Be right back with more of Drink and Drag after this very short break.
Trauma, PTSD, trauma, generational trauma, trauma, rage and trauma, PTSD, trauma, post-traumatic stress, female trauma, family trauma, generational trauma, family trauma, generational trauma, yeah. Trauma. This is what trauma looks like.
Trauma. That's what I'm gonna say. Trauma.
Now you're not gonna
trauma.
Now you're not gonna.
Can I tell you?
You're not gonna do my damn sis Jamie Lee like that.
But the only trauma I have is that every time I think of Jamie Lee, I think of Activia.
What I was thinking right now when I heard the trauma, it was giving me Lady Gaga. 100 people in the room, 100 people in the room, and there's only one. 100 people in the room. I'm like, hey girl, I got it.
She got a point to make.
Got it.
If you repeat it enough, they start to believe it. Sociology 101. But anyway, welcome back.
I'm beautiful.
But you are, Blanche. Okay, so welcome back to the show. Now let's get into, speaking of which, let's talk about the Queen of Pop, Madonna. So, I'm trying to figure which one should I talk about. Well, before we get to the Instagram photos and 50 Cent, whatever, let's talk about this whole thing that people feel like Madonna's out of touch. That there's a lot of stuff going on with her. That apparently, 63 years old, she's worth an estimated $850 million. But then she went on Instagram, and I knew this was going to happen. Like when I read the post, people were going to go in on her. Like first of all, they had a problem with Stephen Klein holding a knife to her throat in one of the photos. They're like, what are you doing? First of all, Liz Rosenberg, her old publicist who retired, would not allow that to even make, wouldn't even allow that to happen because she's always been a good person to keep Madonna grounded in a lot of situations. She's one of the best publicists she ever had, in my opinion. But she wrote something where she says, thanks to all who did support us and slept on couches and worked long hours for free, all to support Madam X, who was not only here to disturb the peace, but to keep art alive. I send you all a big kiss. Now, of course, people have the problem with that small portion of the thing, because I didn't read the other part, which she did say she was part of a collaboration with Stephen Klein's studio and V Magazine for that whole photo shoot. And that, that I guess her gripe was that that they aren't supporting non-artistic people who keep pushing back and going against the establishment, which is something she's always done throughout her 40-year career. But people had a problem with the fact that people sleeping on couches and working long hours for free, especially when she's worth a shit ton of money. So people feel like, well, you should have paid them. Why you got them sleeping on couches when you live in a mansion or whatever? You could have put them up in a room. I know it's people always trying to tell people how they should, what they should do with their money. Like the whole situation we had with Jeff Bezos, who gave $1 million to a nonprofit organization. They were like, well, you could have gave more. First of all, if I'm a billionaire, don't tell me how much fucking money I should give somebody. $1 million's a lot, especially for a nonprofit organization. If you give them $1 million, that should be just as good. Why would you complain? I don't think you can tell somebody how to spending money. Now, with this situation, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with the whole thing about, okay, well, I mean, were they interns? Because I was an intern when I went to film school and I didn't get paid, but I did the work because I wanted the experience and I got the opportunity to work with a lot of celebrities in that way. And it got me in the door of the entertainment world. So were these people interns, or was it just like she, there's been people who have said that they work with her and she don't like to pay people. Like there's been a lot of this back and forth. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this situation, but who wants to go first?
I'm going to go straight and just say, not because I'm a Madonna fan or whatever, just by hearing everything I've seen, when it comes to people like Madonna and her calibers, like the Beyoncés of the world, the Lady Gagas of the world and whatnot, they put on production. And
wait, what happened?
Oh, we've seen other artists. So someone's upset. Who's upset? I see the minute you mentioned
who's
Queen
reporting
B,
you?
The second, and I was going to compliment Queen B. What I'm going to say is, compared to a lot of these other artists who does some cheapy, choppy shows, music videos, their looks are so cheap. You can tell where their money is going. Now, these divas like Madonna put on the best quality shows. You watch Confessions on the Dance Floors, the Sticky and Sweet tours, the Madam X and Rebel Hearts and whatnot. Like, these are massive shows that cost so much money to make for best productions. And I'm a big believer in the more money you spend on quality, the better service you get. So with people saying that she doesn't pay her people, I find that very, very hard to believe. One thing about Madonna that we know her to be is she's bougie, but she ain't cheap with her money. She throws money like there's no tomorrow. I strongly believe none of these people were forced to do what they didn't want to do. So some people probably did it off the fact that, okay, I'm going to get some sort of recognition or some sort of work somewhere working with Madonna. I'm an intern. I don't get paid. A lot of interns do a lot of jobs for these CEOs, really dirty jobs, and they don't get not 1 cent from it, and that's okay. I think we're thinking because she's a pop star, because she makes billions of dollars and she's worth this much money, is why you're not paying these people. I'm assuming she definitely did. Either that or she took care of them other ways, where to stay or where to eat. There's no way these people got zip nada. Now there's maybe some other people who are maybe a third party or fourth party who probably helped do this, and that's something you should speak with whoever hired you to do the job. But going straight to Madonna just doesn't look good in that aspect. That's just my opinion on it. I really don't believe it was just her not wanting to pay people. That's just like crazy, especially for someone who's an activist and human rights, and she's, you know, always helping out, you know, the LGBT plus community. Like, I find that very hard to believe that she's a cheapo and not wanting to pay people for good quality and good production.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah. I guess I can agree with you on some of that. It's like, yeah, people, I mean, you agreed to do the work and not get paid. So therefore, if that's the case, then I don't understand if the people who worked with her didn't, and this just popped in my head too. Like, if the people who actually worked on the shoot are not complaining, the why are people in the comments complaining, or people on her Instagram that were writing about, oh, this is not cool, why are you not, and like, if the people who worked on the set aren't complaining, like I didn't complain when I, did my internship, when I was working for free and long hours and stuff. I wanted the experience, and that was the best way to get the experience, because you get to be around a lot of people who know the ins and outs of the industry. So if there was an opportunity for me to work with, and then I guess people don't also people always want some financial compensation for every little thing. Nobody wants to work up to stuff. It's like, you never know when that opportunity is going to present itself, where you work with Madonna and that's on your resume, then you wind up working with someone else that will end up being a paying gig. So you never know in those situations.
And it's also a decision, unless you're getting tricked, unless someone tells you, because I don't believe, like, if you want to work and you expect compensation, then I get it. I would agree with you, because I'm not going to do anything for free. But listen to what I'm saying. I'm not doing anything for free, which means if I'm walking in and someone's saying, hey, can you do this as a favor? And I do it as a favor, I can't then turn around and be like, well, I didn't get no money off of it. I did it as a favor. If I'm looking for compensation, then the first thing I'm going to say is, oh, are you going to pay me? Nope. I'm walking out. And I know some people are like, oh, you can't say that because everyone has difficulties. That has nothing to do with this situation, because you're either going to do it and not get paid, or you're not going to do it and not get paid regardless. So if it's about the money thing, then don't do it. Just don't do it at all. Don't be
I guess it's
complaining.
whatever was in the initial agreement. If they were interns, what can you expect? It's an intern position. That's what it entails. But if not, pay your people. And that's that.
Yeah. I guess what hurt her was the wording in how she wrote the post.
Yeah.
And people go by what they read at face value, so they're gonna pick apart stuff. Now, if she would, I guess, put the word intern in there, thanks to all the interns who helped out and worked those long hours and stuff. It's always not. I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I guess what she wrote. And then she's been coming out of a lot of fire for things. It's funny how you put that picture up, because she's made a lot of comments and people are feeling like she's been out of touch, like with her being in the tub and defending anti-vaxxers amid ongoing COVID-19 lockdowns, comparing Dave Chappelle to LGBTQ activist James Baldwin when he's been coming out with all these transphobic jokes, and comparing Britney Spears' conservatorship to slavery. So it's just like, child, she does her missteps or whatever. I still love her. I still have my issues with certain things that she comes out on, especially when she dropped that N-word. You got 4 black damn kids. It's like, ma'am, now you should know better. And they read her for that. But I would say, yeah, if you're going to work and know you're not going to get paid, then you set yourself up for that. You chose it, so honor it. Agreed. But yeah, I guess we're all collectively just give our opinion on that. Let's move on to the next thing, which is this beef apparently that 50 Cent has with Madonna. But Madonna has a beef with Instagram because, and the funny thing is, I didn't see the pictures until you posted it on the Drinks and Drag page. But did they take it off? Because they removed any pictures where I saw the original photo where she had her nipple out and everything and her boobs. Money was spent on that body, by the way, I should say.
I was so mad because
titties, that the fillers, like Madonna doesn't
spend. Me and her are in the same boat, because I also have that problem with Instagram currently. I tried to post something the other day that was not even racy, and it was like flagged for removal because it was like, oh, it suggests something sexual. I'm like, what? Like I'm like, it's so dumb. And then like they break it down and they're like, oh, it can get removed because of X, Y, and Z, and they like sometimes children without shirts will get or whatever, like if there's
Yeah.
a child there,
Mhm.
whatever, or
Mhm.
like they have like all these little fine lines, and I'm like, that's dumb. Who are you paying to review
Instagram was
these
owned
pictures?
by that idiot Mark.
You know what? You know what it is. We have to also
this is-
understand. But we also have to understand. We have to understand this part, and this goes the same for when we do our own show too. Is like, I get like who is making a big deal, who's paying you to do all this, but also as them, they're just trying to be cautious because they don't want to get sued. Because all you have to do is take a picture of a 4-year-old, naked, and it is really them celebrating their birthday. But naked, showing nipples, I'm gonna sue. I feel some type of way. My kid, like, you have to be quiet because there's always gonna be
You're violating
a
their community.
person, right? There's gonna be someone's gonna make that complaint, and you trust. I think they'd rather just deal with people complaining that they're getting flagged for posting pictures than having 100 million comments saying, "How dare you promote this? How dare you allow someone to post this up?" That's the only me playing devil's advocate. It's silly. I'm complaining too. Can I also say that when I posted that was the most liked picture so far on the Drinks and Drag show. So when I got that alert and that email, I'm like, a lot of people love Madonna.
Yeah, it's between Facebook and Twitter and stuff. Their rules have gotten so ridiculous, and I've had to constantly fight with them over things. I'm like, this is what the hell are you talking about? This is not even appropriate. And Facebook has sent me some say, well, we apologize. Okay, well, take your apology and sit and spin on this shit.
Yeah.
Because they be doing too much with the rule, and I get it because there's a lot of these rules that's coming down on, especially the thing that happened when a woman went and testified and was spilling all kinds of Facebook tea. But that's y'all and y'all fuck up. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that okay, you post a photo that's not even sexual in nature, and I mean everybody's got nipples. What's a big deal about a damn nipple? I guess because it's a woman's breast and babies drink from it. Like this is overall. But anyway, here's what Madonna said as we throw them photos up. She was like, I'm reposting photographs Instagram took down without warning or notification, which they don't even have to do, I guess, at this point. The reason they gave my management that does not handle my account was, I don't know, I guess that was a weird transition with that line. I still can't wrap my brain around it. She said, the reason they gave my management that does not handle my account was that a small portion of my nipple was exposed. It is still astounding to me that we live in a culture that allows every inch of a woman's body to be shown except the nipple, as if that is the only part of a woman's anatomy that should be sexualized. The nipple that nourishes the baby. Can't a man's nipple be experienced as erotic? And what about a woman's ass, which is never censored anywhere? Well, that's not true. You can't show ass crack and you can't show ass hole. Given thanks that I have managed to maintain my sanity through 4 decades of censorship, sexism, ageism, and misogyny, perfectly timed with the lies that we have been raised to believe about the Pilgrims peacefully breaking bread with the Native American Indians when they landed on Plymouth Rock. God bless America, U.S. And then she put the heart in X. Do you feel that you agree with her on the whole sexism, misogyny situation that she's putting out there?
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with it. I mean, little to nothing. And at this point, nipples, I mean, nipple is a nipple. Jeez. Like, we all have one. If all three of us, well, I don't know, because I'm wearing a wig and makeup. I don't know if I was to show it, I'd be okay. But if you guys would do it right now on live TV, no one's going to say nothing. I'm not saying that they should cover men's nipples. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, why are we taking that away from the lady's body? It is a nipple. Some men has big boobs too, and they're not being censored. You know what I mean? Like, don't say, oh, the shape or the whatever it is. It's don't do that. But I also feel that this is going behind the times. It is it's a woman. You have to respect the woman. And she has to be. It's almost like when the first bathing suit was literally, what were they like? What
a
Chris
muumuu?
wore at the reunion, and the muumuu on top. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she showed too much skin. I think that's what it is, and it needs to break that mold because it has to be equal for everyone. Just like you have to allow me to wear makeup as being a man. You know what I mean? Like, let it go.
But like, look, if she wants to show nude photos, look, you can go on Twitter. Twitter doesn't have any rules when it comes to nudity and expressing herself sexually. So, I mean, if she wanted to show, we are a conservative society. I don't know how other Instagrams and all this stuff are around the world. I'm sure they're even far worse with their conservatisms, especially if you go to like Muslim countries or probably Russia or North Korea, if they even have access to the internet. I don't know. But look, they just sentenced the man to death for sneaking in Squid Game. And then what was it? A couple of people who downloaded it got, I think, life in prison of hard labor, and then the teachers were banished from the school and the superintendent. It was a whole thing. I said, I'm so glad I was born in North Korea, because you killing somebody for smuggling in a TV show, which is about fascism and oppression. But yeah, so getting back on topic, Madonna, we love you. You know how to push the buttons. You know how Instagram's guidelines on Facebook. You know what that is. You can get around it. If you want to show your nipples, if you want to show your asshole, you want to show yourself taking a shit on the damn toilet while eating, a piece of pizza or whatever, put it on Twitter. Well, Jeff Bezos ain't. What was it? Jack Dorsey ain't there no more, so I don't know who runs Twitter now. But yeah, do what needs to be done, but just put it on Twitter. Now,
speaking about people who push buttons.
Exactly. Great transition. Speaking of people who push buttons, Fofty, Lady Curtis, has something to say as usual, because he always got something to say about a woman. Always. Can't stay out of grown folks' business. So apparently he went, he's 46. Shot great that far from her. Yo, this is the funniest ish. LOL. That's Madonna under the bed trying to do a like a virgin at 63. She shot out. If she don't get her old ass up. LMFAO. Okay, so she may be old, but she's still whatever. But Madonna has something to say about what Miss Sant had to say as I pull that up. So where is it? Oh my gosh.
I felt like it'd have been iconic if she just reposted it and was just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And period. And just left it at that. Like,
that would have been great.
Iconic.
I'm waiting for her response. You have it? Because I'm ready to say what I gotta say. I agree with you all the way.
She said, here's 50 Cent pretending to be my friend. Now you have decided to talk smack about me. I guess your new career is getting attention by trying to humiliate others on social media. The least elevated choice you could make as an artist and an adult. You're just jealous you won't look as good as me or have as much fun when you're my age. Too bad there are no sour grapes emojis. And then she put at 50 Cent and she said, why are you talking smack about me, bitch? Jealous because you won't look as good as me when you're my age.
Good. That was a long F you. Basically, that was a long F you.
And she posted a picture of them two together. So I love it.
I'm here for it. I love it. I'm here for it. The only thing is, it's so funny because I was really pissed off that he was clowning her. Like, you can have an opinion. Like, I respect somebody to be like, "Ooh, Madonna. Oh, I don't." But that's because you actually don't like it. That's fine. I get that. I'm here for it. But you clowning somebody when it's like, I'm so glad he mentioned the part like, "Oh, you're so old." Well, I did a little research, and I went to the youngins to who I work with, and I was asking the youngins about 50 cents. And other than the "It's Your Birthday" from that Die movie that they keep using. The people who wakes up every day. What's it called? What's that movie called? Every day the girl was dying. Yes. No. That horror movie that came out and it was like, it's your birthday. And she always relived every day. She was dying every night and relived the same day over and over again.
Oh my God, I totally forgot the name too, and I saw it.
Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day. I was asking about 50 cents to the youngins, no lie. And they were like, oh, and when I was like, it's your birthday, like, oh, from that movie, yeah, that's a good song. And I'm like, what other songs do you know from the man? Couldn't name an album, couldn't name a song, couldn't name anything. So you clowning for what when you're already have reached the caliber that she's at? And for somebody who's talking about someone who likes to get their ass eaten, talking about another lady's ass under the bed, it's a problem for me. Don't see, this is what I talk about. Don't talk about something you don't want it to be spoken about for you. It's about her old ass or whatever. But you get these young girls to eat your booty when it's time to perform. What is the problem here? In my opinion, and that's all I have to say.
I agree. I'm just tired of him always talking crap about, like, the trolling thing. It's old. It's like,
yeah,
can you just focus on your 9,000 power spinoffs?
That's where he's getting his most money from. So stick with that. Stick with that and focus on that.
Why does this kept nobody's buying your music? It's like you troll Ja Rule, but your career lasted just as long as his, under 5 years. So I don't understand why there's this need to continue to consistently just be online trolling. It's not funny. It's tired. It's late. It's old, and I'm tired of talking about this queen. They did say, but what happened to free the nipple movement? Oh, is there one?
They've always talked about that. I don't know if that's a thing still.
And Phil the Mermaid said, "Yeah, I think I could think of 5 songs from Madonna off the top of my head. Honey, I can think of more than that." And then 50, just the birthday song. That is because his biggest hit was "Go Shady, It's Your Birthday." Like, who knows any in the club? Like, who knows any other song besides that?
I know Madonna a couple, but I'm not gonna.
No, that's okay. No, it's good. No, but don't forget, you're also.
I'm not. No, I'm not saying I'm not a fan, but I know
for the youngins. No, you would know. I didn't say a fan. No, because we're from the era, so we know more. My thing was I asked the youngins because he would say that she's so old. I asked people now, and not one person knew. I can the Get Rich Die Hard, whatever, or that song 21 Questions. See, I know the songs, but I was asking the youngins, just like how he was treating Madonna, and not one person can answer. And someone's like, "Oh, the guy who does the power shows." I'm like, "Ooh, did you know he was a rapper before he became the power man?" Oh, that's all I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, because people know, like a version,
like his version.
But anyway, so let's move on to the one and only Sherri Shepherd, because there's been this story rolling around that she is in the front running to take over the Wendy Williams show because it looked like Wendy ain't coming back. But did y'all see that video of her walking out of the wellness center in Miami with no damn shoes on, like she was Britney Spears at the gas station back in 2006? In that Versace
her feet are swollen. Her feet are swollen. What can she do?
She could put some chocolates or something. She could do something.
But anyway. Don't fit.
Some big size ones. But anyway, so the Jasmine brand, shout out to y'all for this tea. So they're exclusively reporting that despite recent claims, Sherri will not be taking over the Wendy show full time. Well-known journalist John Murray, who is a good friend of Sherri's, has said that she has no plans to replace Wendy, who is 57, and Sherri is 54, by the way, as the host of her popular syndicated talk show. He says, "I love that people are talking about my friend Sherri Shepherd going back to host in December for a week, which will be from December 13th to 17th, but the rest of the story from Radar is fake news." He also added, "Sherri will at some point host her own show and move where the money resides. I'm just saying that this story is a fabrication." So, what do y'all think about... Okay, I know we gave our opinion last week, and I still agree with Remy when he says that, you know what, she is gonna come back and just do the whole swan song. I'm out, deuces, bitch. Like, I feel like she's gonna give us that, and then the show is done because it hasn't been renewed. And then a lot of shows are... The Real got their renewal slip. A lot of the talk shows have gotten their renewal slips. They're talking about giving what's her name? Jennifer Hudson, I think, is in talks to get her own talk show. I don't see that, but okay. If y'all got fatigue, if y'all got an ability, if y'all see something I don't, then give her a show. But yeah, I think it's a wrap for Wendy at this point. I like if she comes back, okay, but it's been too long. The wait it's kind of extended long enough. I just don't care at this point whether or not she comes back. She could do something on Sirius XM. I think she's hatching.
She could do a podcast.
Yeah, like she has something with her husband. She can go on Sirius, and you know how, like with Radio Andy, like he has with him, with Smith and all of them, or Charlamagne has with all the women. The people that he has for his specific umbrella of podcasts or podcasting. She could take people under her wing and nurture future podcasters and have her own show. She could do it from her house. Just give her like she did it when I think when she was pregnant with Kevin, she was on bed rest. She was at home and she did the Wendy Williams experience around that time. So I could totally see her doing that. I think the show is pretty much done, and I think Devin Mercury is ready to move on, and Fox is over it. So yeah, I don't see Sherri doing it, but I could definitely see Sherri doing her own show. Now the question is, will people watch Sherri's show when she decides to launch one?
We'll tell when she comes back and does another week, which is funny because I did tell you that this was happening, did I not? In the last episode that we did, I said don't go crazy. She's gonna come back. It's all about scheduling. And look, it's been announced that she's coming mid December. So I think that will tell. I think that her first week was a go, and that's perfect. That's great. That's what we all want. You know what I mean? Like we wake up every day, and I want to see how many people has watched my Beat Face, how many people's watching Drinks and Drag. Like what else can we do to make the views happen? And for her to do it her first week was wonderful. This is gonna tell if whether or not it's going to be worth her having in the show, because she's going to do another 5 episodes, and it's been separated from the last show she did in October, November, first week of November, late October. Oh, it had to be in October because she was talking about Halloween. So from October to mid-December, if she does it well, then that's going to tell whether or not she is capable of having her own talk show that way. What I do want to say that maybe has nothing to do with anything is, if and when this show does, I'm pretty sure this is it for this. This is the only area, because is, like I said, is under contract. They have to finish the season. People have to get paid. So they're still going to have people until the show is over in December, January. But I hope they give Norman a chance and have him do 1 episode, because he's such a big person, and he does this with her and he helps her out, that I feel they should, out of respect, give him a Norman episode and have him do the hot topics and do the interviews. I think he'd be amazing.
Yeah, he's a hit producer of hot topics. So, but I don't see that happen.
No, I agree with what Kris said in the last episode. I think he's more like better behind the scenes rather than in person, like on the camera, because he doesn't give me that TV personality. Mm-hmm. He can have all the tea and all the research, but I don't know if he'll be able to deliver it in a way.
Okay. I still feel like we should give him a chance. Maybe not a week's worth. Just give him an episode. I don't know. I'm just saying. We might be surprised. I mean, I'm loving that Leah and Michelle is on again. I love them. The week they were on, and I love them so far this week. They're so well. They do really well. The only thing is,
they seem more relaxed than the last time.
More relaxed. Yes, but I will say that they are entertaining. Yes, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh, come back again. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. They should have their own thing, but they don't really give much hot topics. I think they give like 1 or 2 hot topics, and they're too busy putting in their own stuff that they have going on. Like the day they came back, they were talking about like their thing in Manhattan, what they were eating, they went ice skating, all that stuff, and that was entertaining. But I didn't get hot topics. I didn't fully get.
Yeah, it came on very Kelly and Ryan with their delivery, with this.
Yes.
They do it, but the only problem with Kelly is Kelly always like, oh, I know, I've been like, bitch, you don't know every goddamn thing. Fucking relax. She always says that she knows everything that goes on in the conversation, which always makes her come across as a tryhard. But yeah, it comes too much like it's a conversation, and people tune in for the Wendy format for the hot topic, which basically goes to show nobody does Wendy's show better than Wendy Williams. Now, the thing is, Wendy need to come bring her ass back to work, because if she over here walking around just fine, like I said, y'all can put some out and call it a day. Like, basically put her out there. Her mouth works fine. When I saw the video, and I sent it to EJ, so hopefully we have that video that we could post it. Of her walking, and the guy from the shade room was asking her questions, and she seemed very bright, like she was aware where she was, the whole dementia rumors and all other stuff. She seemed to be in good spirits. So oh no, I know you didn't say you missed Jerry hosting. Jerry was the worst. But yeah, I would hope Wendy comes back, but at this point, it's just like I feel like the ship is sailed. This thing has overshadowed what this show is. It's going to be hard to kind of just watch this show and just forget all the craziness that is. Or maybe, we do have a short attention span, so we might just be like, oh, well, in 3 weeks, we done forgot this whole thing even happened.
Bring back Bethany.
Ooh.
Who said that? Wow. There's the wind outside.
Now, Wendy would get pissed if you had Bethany host. I know they had a little thing at one point, but I don't know. I guess I guess we won't be able to play the thing because we've been having technical issues all night. But hopefully we can pull up this picture as we close out of the little game that we wanted to play.
Let's
in regards to, we gotta choose a dancer. Like if we had an opportunity for a specific. Yeah, Bethany from the Real Housewives, who would not do that.
Yeah, like
What was it, a Diamonds and Rose interview in the book?
Mm-hmm. No, but the game that we're gonna play is basically something we've seen around. Kris has posted this up, and I thought it was so interesting. I'm like, this is a good, thing to have for our show, and whoever watches can leave their comments below. And if you're watching now, please let us know your bet. But it's who do you place your money on with a specific dancer? So Kris is gonna announce the 3 choices that was given, and we're going to, I guess, persuade which team we would be on.
Yeah, if the photo doesn't work, then we'll just do this. Like, I mean, I give the gavel basically keep the show going anyway. So basically, the choices are J Lo, Beyonce, or Sierra.
Who's a better dancer?
Who do you place your money on? Who's a better dancer? Whose team would you be on as far as dancing?
Sierra had a dance battle. Who you got your money on?
There we go.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll say Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
I too say Sierra.
And I say I'm Team J-Lo all the way. I love J-Lo. J-Lo does no wrong. I love J-Lo the wrong. But when it comes to this, I love you, J-Lo. I'm going to Sierra's team. Boop, boop. I am. Listen, like I said, I could be the biggest fan of somebody. I have to give credits. Listen, J-Lo dances nonstop. We all know that. She does work. Beyonce dances extremely well. She puts in hours. She puts in what she needs to do. But Sierra does all that movements, and she does tricks. You know what I mean? She holds dance for a long time. She just makes it look so effortless, so sexy. Live video.
Her skills may not be that great, but her dances.
Yep. Don't compare.
Yeah, the thing is, Sierra definitely does do different things when it comes to dance. J-Lo does at times too, although sometimes when I do watch her choreography, it can get very Janet Jackson repetitive, where it's like you're not really pushing yourself to do different things. Like how many times are going to do that Latin music section where they flip you and throw you around in the air? Like I've seen that so many times. You in Guitar when you was in the which I absolutely loved when she did it on the Super Bowl.
Oh yes.
Also, bitch, there's a specific thing because I remember when we were having this conversation, you said you was gonna bring up Shakira.
I was waiting to say that. You stole my shit. I was gonna be like, where is Shakira in this? Which I get. It was a 3, but let me tell you something. I feel like if you added Shakira to the mix,
dance segment of the Super Bowl, but I love that she did the African dance sequence that she did. I kept rewinding that far back. I was like, okay.
Let me tell you, if she was added to this mix, then I would be like, I don't fucking know, because I would have to go either Ciara or Shakira, because again, live or music video wise, Shakira also artistically. You can't defeat her in dances, and then she just adds her little belly dancing skills. She's on the floor, she's twisting it. She's a pretzel 1 minute, she's dough the next. She's just molded into stuff. You're like, damn, bitch. You know what I mean? All she needs to do is fly. She just needs to fly on her own, and she would be the winner. But yes, I feel like Shakira should have been added to this. But Ciara, what is you guys' opinions? Oh, Sailor Mermaid said Ciara hands down. Yes, that's what I'm. We all
common
bet on
consensus.
money. Mm-hmm.
And nobody picked Beyonce.
Don't do it. We don't want to get cut off. Hold on.
Yeah, I caught myself. I was like, yep.
Yeah, because
I said she is a great dancer.
Yeah, her dancing is very,
honestly, she's no Ciara.
Dancing Dolls. Remember that show on Lifetime? That's what.
But Beyonce too.
She gives me 5th grade dance recital with her choreography, but
no, she does not give me that. But she doesn't give me that. But you brought up something. It just hit me right now when you said it. The same thing with J-Lo is right. Beyonce's choreography is the same. For the last 10 years, her dances for specific songs has solely been the same. The same. So I'm not shocked. Ciara, though, she'll come in with something new all the time. Not consistent. Even to her old classic songs, they're not the same.
Yeah, she's always reinventing herself. Like Madonna with her choreography. Like she'll change it up, the song choice, the dancing, all that good stuff. But so I guess that brings us to the end of this episode.
Episode 3, y'all.
Yes. Right at hour and a half, like the other 2. I guess this is a 90-minute show. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Tune in next time for the next episode of Drinks and Drag. We're gonna be talking about a whole lot of stuff, going on in the world of drag, reality TV, all the pop culture stuff. What's phenomenal? But anyway, love you all for watching. Oh look, Yeah.
Love you all.
I think
Appreciate it.
I think they were referencing Beyonce's dancing. It's phenomenal.
Beyonce
It feels
dance.
heavy.
Oh, got it. No, but thank you. Yes, thank you so
Mhm.
much for watching. Please tell your friends. We appreciate the support. Tell your friends. Tell everyone to watch us. We're here every week. And follow the Drinks and Drag Talk Show Instagram account. And send us stuff. Be part of our show, too. If you hear something that you think is buzzworthy for us to talk about on the show, let us know. Send us comments. DM us. Let us know. We appreciate any help.
Definitely, because this is a lot of work putting these topics together, especially with
100%.
online and my Kris Avalon show podcast I do that's all over the streaming platforms. With putting these topics together, it's a lot of work. So if y'all have any topics y'all want us to talk about, that would definitely take the load off and to make our jobs a lot easier. So yeah, like Lindsay said, follow the Drinks and Drag Drinks and Drag blog.
Yeah, Drinks and Drag Show on IG.
Oh my god, how did I forget? Drinks and Drag Show on Instagram. Also follow our little Instagrams, as well as click like, subscribe, share, let everybody know.
Yes, subscribe.
Leave a comment at the bottom what y'all think of the episodes. I'm sure these comments will be popping up when you go back on the live stream. But yes, until next time, love you all for watching, and
bye.
Bye.
Like from now on, I have to do the in life. I have to do that from now on.
I also can't wait, baby.
The Queen, Nicki Minaj, came to our fucking reunion
with Sag Power.
With Sag Power, right? Don't forget, okay? Listen, we're mean, but with purpose.
That's right.
Understand?
All right, you pushing it.